Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans? Welcome to another pregame show for you. Arkansas on their European tour. Of course, they got the big, let's just go ahead and say it, easy win. They're in game one. They've got game two. They're playing. There's been a change. It is not Barcelona, Todo-Estrella. It's Catalina Elite, but we'll get to that in just a second. Just some quick notes here. Kevin McPherson tweeted out earlier. Of course, Kevin alongside me here. Kevin McPherson, the one and only. 2023 priority target in number 12 prospect in the country. 5-star Bay Fall is in Chicago prepping for the Under Armour Elite 24 All-Star game that's set for 6 p.m. Friday, August 12th on ESPNU. And also, Trey Wade has signed with a team in the Polish basketball league. I cannot pronounce the name of this team. Arka Gdynia. I'm not really sure. But he has signed, so congrats to him. All right, let's jump into this, Kevin. Catalina Elite. What do we know about these guys, if anything at all?
Well, first of all, Ty, I can barely hear you.
Okay. Any better now?
Yeah, I think I'm going to leave and jump back in. Hold on.
Okay. Give Kevin just a second here. I think he's having I heard his phone going off, and that may have when that happens on my phone and I'm doing something like this, it always lowers the volume for whatever reason, for whatever it is I'm listening to. But I have an iPhone. I'm not sure what he has. Cameron Gray says I'm good on his end. Okay. So it might be Kevin's phone. All good. Technical glitches. We'll get it under. Kevin will be back. But Arkansas not playing. Again, they're not playing Barcelona, Todo-Estrella. It's actually Catalina Elite. I don't know that we have a lot of information on these guys. Maybe Kevin's got a little bit of something. This was changed apparently about half an hour ago. So, again, they're not official games. You know, we'll get when those games come along, when we get into league play, we'll have a much better idea of who it is they're matching up against. Remember, these are more or less glorified scrimmages. So, but nonetheless, we're taking a lot away from these games. All right, Kevin, what do we know? First off, can you hear me?
I can hear you, and I thought I heard you starting to talk about Bay Fall, maybe, and then.
Yeah, so we were doing the updates, just real quick updates, something that you had tweeted out. Bay Fall, who's going to be playing in the Under Armour Elite 24 All-Star game, which is set for 6 p.m. on August 12th on Friday on ESPNU.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Also known as tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was just Trey Wade signing within the Polish basketball league.
Yeah, he's a defensive end, a tight end, and one heck of a 3-4 combo forward. He's picking and choosing right now. You want to play football? You want to play basketball? Let's roll with the hoops in Poland, man.
There you go. That's how it's done. Trey Wade, get it done, sir. Represent the University of Arkansas well, as we know he will. What do we know, Kevin, about this matchup change? Again, not Barcelona, Todo-Estrella. Now it's Catalina Elite. Do we know anything about these guys?
I don't even know how to pronounce it. Is it Catalan? Is it Catalan? Is it,
I'm probably.
Is it, I don't know anything about these teams other than, if it's anything like what we saw, I think it's another track meet, one-sided for Arkansas. I mean, all those national championships the track and field program has in there that they've got housed there in Fayetteville, those guys are jealous of what they saw the other day. They're like long jumpers, high jumpers, sprinting. I mean, they're worried about their scholarships because they got basketball guys that might come over there and do nicely. No, they're not. But my point is we may see another one-sided track meet today. I don't know enough about this opponent, but I do know these Razorbacks, Ty, are equipped to get up and down. And it's not just the physical and athletic stuff. It's the playmaking, the decision-making, and guys that trigger that offense. You got to have guys that can finish it. And Arkansas's got it. I'll say this. They've to me, if there's anything to talk about right now, that's what it is, because Musman wasn't happy with the defense. That's been the staple of the program. one game so far, and Arkansas wins by nearly 50 points. If he didn't like what the defense was doing, then he just outran them, and that's really what we saw. And I thought in half court, Arkansas did some other good things. They didn't just run, but they attacked. You didn't see guys firing up a lot of threes. Nick Smith Jr. did that and knocked down three. Most of the guys were trying to get to the rim. That's the strength of this team. I did talk a little bit about you want to see more from distance from Arkansas. Perhaps we will. But you don't ever want to do that at the expense of playing to your strengths. And so I think we're going to see another vicious attack mode. The running of the Hogs in Spain. Where's Pamplona? That's where they do the running of the Bulls. The Hogs need to show up there. And here, let's get some light on this. But, after today, Ty, they move on to Italy. So,
yep. Yeah, that'll be on Saturday the 13th at 12:30, also known as this weekend.
Boom.
There it is. Someone left a comment, and I thought this was interesting, and it speaks to what you're just talking about. Arkansas maybe, with the three-point shooting, we didn't see a lot of it. I really thought Pinion was going to pull back and launch a few attempts. Kim Bowie, I think I'm pronouncing that right, Buie, says 17 dunks will usually get you a win with or without three-pointers. Go Hogs, go. Do you think they're going to try and stretch the floor today? And what do you think? What do you think? Are they going to try more threes today?
Well, I don't know. You always want to do what you always want to play to what the defense gives you. It's not about that they needed to hit threes just for the sake of hitting them to prove they can. Yeah. If you win, you win. The point is sometimes in games, the defense figures a little bit out and takes things away. Even that team that was short on the kind of talent and size and athleticism that Arkansas put on the floor, there was a stretch in that second quarter where they went to a zone and Arkansas struggled a little bit. Yep. And so sometimes in parts of games, you can see where an offense maybe can't always just rely on its strengths, or maybe it's the personnel that's on the floor. But at some point when the defense is begging you to shoot a little bit, you don't want to force drives and other things when it's there, or you want at least one or two guys capable of stepping in and knocking that down. And so I think that's what we're talking about more so than, they 49-point win with 17 dunks wasn't good enough. They really should have hit at least 10 threes. There's no measuring stick for that other than to kind of call out what you see in certain spots in the game. But having said that, I think, again, I think Musselman has, to me, he telegraphed what he was doing. He wanted to get bigger. He wanted to get longer. And then he got 3 5-stars. I mean, that's unheard of around these parts, Ty. That's a program first. So we're seeing, we remember when Nolan Richardson had it going. He had several McDonald's All-American, never more than 2 from the same class. Yeah. And that only happened once for him. But that team, the 40 Minutes of Hell, the first versions of that, or the best versions of that, were up and down and a lot of transition and really just kind of cracking skulls that way. Tough defensively, 94 feet. This is not the same style, but you've got a roster with special athletes. This is a special looking team to me when I look at these individual pieces, and then you bring them together. That's the interesting thing about practices that we got to see a couple of as media. You see them together all on one floor, but they're kind of going against each other and a few little drills here. There's some drill work, some scrimmaging, but they're not. Now you're seeing them all as one hog, I guess. We'll borrow that line. And now you're seeing the combinations out there, and we're going to see more multiple combinations. I'm also interested to see if Musselman sticks with a rotation for any stretch of any game. That fourth game against the Back and Bears might be the most challenging because that's a pro club over there, and that might be one where we see things tighten up a little bit. Maybe not, but maybe today. But it's all very interesting to me, Ty, as we get into it for game 2.
We have our lineup. We have our starting 5. I don't know if you've seen this yet. They just put this out at 1:10 from Coach Musselman's Twitter. Nick Smith, Devontae Davis, Jordan Walsh, Jalen Graham, and Mikael Mitchell are your starting 5. So, curious about your thoughts on that. Of course, we know that they're not going to roll with these starting 5 for very long. We know that. This is just kind of I don't know if you want to call it an experiment or what. Did we lose Kevin again? Uh-oh. Like we lost Kevin again. He's having some technical difficulties. He said he was having issues with his signal in his house and he had to connect over to his Wi-Fi. He's having some issues, but those are your starting 5. Hopefully we'll get Kevin's take on that before we sign off, assuming he's able to come back. But this is an interesting starting 5. Again, that's Nick Smith, Devo Davis, Jordan Walsh, Jalen Graham, and Mikael Mitchell. So you've got 2 transfers, 2 freshmen, and a returning junior in Devo Davis. Can you hear us, Kevin? Oh. Listen, we do these from our homes, and we're kind of at the mercy of our own technology within our homes. Oh, he's back. Here we go.
What? I'm having a little technical difficulty today, Ty.
That's okay. Hey, we're rolling with the punches, Kevin. We're making it happen. Did you catch my starting 5? Did you hear that?
I think I heard. I think I heard Nick Smith, Jordan Walsh, Devo Davis, Jalen Graham, and Mikael Mitchell.
Yep.
I can say that in reverse order if you'd like.
You got it. You perfect. That's perfect. That's it. So
I'm going to do it anyway. Mikael Mitchell, Jalen Graham, Devo Davis, Jordan Walsh, Nick Smith Jr.
Close enough.
That's in reverse.
So you got a couple of freshmen, returning third-year man Devo, and a couple of transfers. What do you again? We know it is what it is. Every game we're probably going to see a different starting 5. But what's your takeaway from this starting group?
Well, I think it's interesting to see Nick Smith and Devo Davis. They've known each other a long time, grew up playing together. I think it's kind of cool that Muss is putting them in the starting lineup today. It may be something we see down the road as well. But and Jordan Walsh. So you've got a triangle there in the backcourt. We're seeing Jordan Walsh when you look at the 2 bigs in there, and Jalen Graham and Mikael Mitchell. We see him as a 3 today, and he's a guy I think is going to be a 3-4 combo. So I'm going to love watching him running these wings because we know Devontae Davis and Nick Smith Jr. excel in full court basketball, as does Walsh. So there's not a combination. We keep talking about transition where Arkansas is not going to have fun and get out. And I think Jalen Graham is a guy that likes to attack from 15 feet in. He's interesting. I think he's got a diversity of defensive skill. Hope to see some of that on display today. And then Mikael Mitchell's kind of an enforcer. And so I want to see what the pick and roll action looks like with Nick, with Devo. If both of those guys share the ball a little bit, Musselman may be substituting so frequently that we may not see enough of certain guys together. But just as starters, if they get 5 minutes, let's say they get that many. I doubt they do, but if they do, I think there's some interesting things that we can watch for, especially Nick Smith in 2-man game. And then obviously that's half court. I still think it's off to the races no matter who's on the court for Arkansas today.
I'm curious to see what Jalen Graham does. I don't feel like, maybe I'm wrong, I don't feel like we saw a lot of him in game 1. He had 8 points unofficially, 8 points, 9 rebounds. He did have an assist. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I spotted him for very much on the floor. And then, of course, Mikael Mitchell had 8 points the last game. Nick Smith, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal. Yeah, this is it's going to be fascinating, too. I'm just so curious if we see – I want to see Pinion launch some, Kevin. I want to see him sit back and stretch the floor a little bit, maybe try. I mean, again, you got to take what's given to you by the defense. But, this is a interesting starting group. This is a question from Tony Brown. How good is the post defense? It's a good question. We haven't talked a lot about post play. How good is the post defense of Makai and Mikael Mitchell? Seeing Sheboy in yesterday's UK scrimmage scared me.
Well, Sheboy should scare you. He scared everybody last year and backed it up.
Yeah.
I think these guys are, you'll see different styles a little bit there defensively. They have length and quickness. They're fluid. They like to get up and block some shots. Sheboy's a handful for anybody. I'm not going to predict that these guys are going to solve him. We saw last year how good the front lines were in the SEC, not just Sheboy. But you had Kessler at Auburn. You had the big kid Castleton down there in Florida. Jalen Williams departed. Jalen Williams, had double doubles against these guys, but he really didn't stop anybody in that time because these are really good players. No matter how good you are defensively, when you've got guys that high level, it's just really hard to shut them down. And so, I'm not sure Arkansas is different this year. They have more than Jalen Williams on the front line. They got multiple guys. And I think that's the real treasure here for Musselman and what he's done in this offseason recruiting is because now he's not, if something's not working in game, let's say he game plans and he says, these are the matchups. I've got these toys. I've got this versatility. And he gets out there and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but he's got other options now. He's got other styles to turn to. And I think that's the key. But if, with the Mitchells, Jalen Graham, Trevon Brazil's probably more of a stretch four and not a banger. And then you've got Kamani Johnson. We kind of keep reminding folks who may not be penciling in the rotation. He's a veteran. He's been through the SEC wars, enough of them. And even though he doesn't play above the rim and he's only 6'7", he is a physical warrior inside who gobbles up rebounds, finds ways to draw fouls for the team, maybe get to the free throw line, a few stick backs. So Arkansas is going to have different ways that it can compete inside this year, whereas last year you were really relying on Jalen Williams.
Yeah. Big time for Jalen. And, of course, he came through. We know he did a great job playing physical and, taking those charges. I don't know that we'll ever see anything like that again. Assuming there's not some kind of rule change.
Never.
What did he end up with? How many charges taken?
54. It led NCAA. I wish we could see who number 2 was, because I promise you it was probably about half that at best. The guy's maybe not, but he led it. So, for a 6'10" guy too, usually your charge takers are guys that are considered a little more nimble and can get over to spots more quickly. That's how well he reads and anticipates, because he's not the quickest guy in the world, and he's 6'10". He's got a lot of parts to move over from one side to another to get there on time.
Do we, and I know, again, we don't know anything about this team. Do we want to take a shot at a score prediction or a dunk prediction maybe? Because they're counting them. Everyone's counting these dunks.
Yeah, I'll say I don't know what I did, Ty, but okay, let's see if they can raise the bar again. Let's go 20 dunks.
Whoa.
That's crazy, isn't it? Probably not going to happen.
But like you said, though,
but let's put the pressure on them. 20 dunks, and let's you go from 49. Let's see if they can win by 60 today.
Yeah, there you go. There's that too. People. We had people complaining. In places where I'm at, this thing called Discord. I had someone complaining that they didn't look that great, or they were sloppy, and they just weren't satisfied despite that massive point difference between what we had and what they had. Of course, then you had Musselman, who wasn't excited about the defensive play, and of course we only got about 8 minutes of him yesterday. He was also having technical difficulties, but he wasn't happy with the defensive play. Yet you hold an opponent under 60 points. It was sloppy at times. So it seems like everybody, including Coach Muss, they want to see more, Kevin. They want better.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to look. I'm not going to judge them too harshly. I was having trouble on here a couple of times, and I used some Spanish, by the way, as I was losing I hope that didn't come across to everybody. I was struggling a little bit there with the so if I can't even get one of these, I don't even know what this is called, YouTube Live. If I can't execute like I wanted to, then I'm not going to judge this basketball team.
There you
go.
I
do think there were some things to clean up, but that's what you get in August. You got 11 newcomers.
Well, and I was going to say, we're doing something similar to what Razorback basketball is doing. This is something entirely different for Hogville.net. This is new. So we have some similarities. We got a lot of newness, and we're getting to know each other a little bit, you and I. And Otis.
Well, you're the 5-star recruit. I'm just the 2.5-star that they bumped up to a 3 out of pity. And I'm still in the lineup. So we're trying to figure out how I'm going to fit in.
I'm not even on your level, sir. Your basketball knowledge is way up there, and I'm way down here on planet Earth while you're orbiting Mars. You're crushing it with the content. You guys know where to get that content. It's over on hogville.net, completely free. If you haven't already, like this stream, share the content, even though it's a pregame, and be sure you hit the subscribe button and go support. Go to hogville.net, get you some great content. You should be charged for it, but you're not. It's entirely free. Kevin McPherson, Otis Kirk, Dudley Dawson. We got John doing our photography, who I was bragging on today on Facebook. That guy kills it. I'm there with him at camp. By the way, full pads today. I'll be there. I'm going to try and take some video footage. But John, our photographer, does great work. Shout out to this team here at Hogville. We are crushing it. Like I would say similar to what Muss is doing so far in Europe. So
we're as free as the air you breathe, Ty. That's it. That's all you got to. That's it. It's free. It's all free. All right, my friend. We'll catch up next time. Enjoy that full pad practice.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll be back on the 13th. That's right. Woo pig, and I'll see you guys around. I'll see you there. Go Hogs.
All right, later.
All right. Yeah, really quick. 12:30. Kevin and I will be back on Saturday. Or 12, I'm sorry. The game, I believe, is at 12:30. We'll be here for the pregame. That'll be exciting. They'll be in Italy. I don't know who they play may change like today. So full pads, preseason football. I mean, are you kidding me? Today is loaded, you guys. It's incredible. I'll see those of you who are in the Tuss Talk Discord. We are gonna be over there. So woo pig, and I'll see you guys. Well, I will see you sooner than later. Go Hogs.